All right, thanks for coming on. I'm talking to Lee Sawyer from the Rudic Group, and I met Lee at an event down in Dallas recently, and I was like blown away with your sales experience. You're the VP of Sales Development for Rudic Group, and we were talking about sales. You used to sell medical equipment, and just I was blown away by you like in 5 seconds of talking to you, and I was like, I got to have you on a webinar with us. So we're going to be doing a webinar with Lee on selling coming up. So stay tuned for that. Lee's an audit user. He's going to share what he is doing with audit and how he's using it. But I wanted to talk about prospecting with you a little bit today in this short video. So thanks for coming on, Lee.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Could you fill in some blanks for me? You know, where did you start? I know we talked about this. You sold spinal medical equipment, like a really focused, thing, not a huge niche thing, but you were selling something that's pretty technical, and you're still now you're selling obviously IT services, which is super technical. So talk about your background and how you got here.
Yeah, so I originally got into sales. I worked in the financial services and insurance industry. I did that for 6 years. In the matter of, I guess, in 8 to 12 months, I moved from just starting and brand new into sales into they relocated me to a different city and gave me my own branch and wanted me to build the branch. I built that up relatively quickly and trained and worked with the staff. And really a lot of the selling techniques and the selling tools I used were things that were furnished by the company, large Fortune 500 company. So lots of tools and resources at my fingertips that I used and learned from in that experience, plus some really good resources and people that I met that gave me more than anything, just some of their knowledge and their experiences also. From insurance and financial services, I moved over to medical sales, and that's where I got into selling spinal hardware for spine fusion surgeries and durable medical equipment. I live in Austin, Texas, so there were 40 some odd neurosurgeons that I would work with, and that would be my target audience. And that's the hardest prospect of all time. Try not knowing a whole lot of anything, go to spine school for 2 weeks, and now go talk to neurosurgeons, speak their language, get them to be your friend, and hey, I need them to use our $2,000 screws. Okay, the only way I figured out to do that was through relationships and build a relationship with them gradually over time, get to know them, get to know their kids and their family, and just keep progressing that until I get an opportunity and get one opportunity and make the most out of it. Plan, be prepared, go over and above, get more of that individual's business, start getting my reputation built and adding on from there. About a year ago, I was approached by a former colleague, and he started his own construction company, and then they also started an IT service company kind of focused in the construction industry. And they walked me through their business model and what they were trying to do and what they were pushing on, and that they wanted some good growth and to have that side of things and kind of that third silo with operations and accounting and finance, and then the sales marketing piece. They wanted to really push on that and see some great growth. So they brought me in, gave me the opportunity to help with that. And we've really put several of the things that I did from my past experiences in play. One of the big pieces that I think that we were missing was I guess, coverall tool that provides a visual for the customers and people that I'm talking to and presenting to, so they see kind of here's what IT is. When I was selling financial services, I'm not selling a physical, tangible, you can't touch the financial service. When I was selling medical hardware, he could touch it, see how my product was different from someone else's. I feel like that was one of the most crucial things that I learned in the spine side, was having that visual to show them. In insurance and financial services, they provided me with what they called a fact finder. It was 4 squares, the 4 squares that make up an individual's financial portfolio or financial situation, from your retirement and savings to your health insurance to the life insurance portion, and health insurance. So just there are 4 different areas of that, and then learning where somebody sits within those 4 areas and understanding it, and then showing them here are some ideas and solutions to fill in those areas. What caught my attention when I saw audit was it was really the exact same thing. It was here are the areas of concern and importance in IT. Here's where you sit. In my mind, I really like the red, yellow, and green. People do not like to see red on anything. Red has negative associations with people, and when you show them something that's red, it worries them, as it should, especially in today's environment. So that was the big piece that drew me to audit was, okay, here's the visual I can show people and I can relate to and I can reference as we're moving through this versus me just doing this verbally and not getting a lot of the results that I was wanting, because I felt like I'd get that glassed over look and yeah, we like it and we know we need it, but really all this stuff that you're showing me, I'm not really sure where any of this is going to go in with my problems. So that's where audit's been able to help me tailor into a scenario where here are the specific areas in my baseline review and my baseline report. Here's where you're currently standing. And then when I do my my presentation, where it's going to be, here's what we propose in the proposed solution report, that's completely, for me, I've kind of customized it to where it's geared around my offerings and the solutions that we provide. So you need a backup solution and then business continuity. What's the difference? How am I gonna, how does one help me versus the other? Do I need one or both or none? Those little pieces, and showing them, okay, well, here's where your email is hosted, and then relating to them and showing them, well, here's the products that I'm selling you that are going to fill these gaps, as well as, and one of my favorite pieces really is the yellow boxes. Here's my different plans and different membership levels have different benefits and software and different,
right,
services that come with them. So when I see an individual where they want just the basic service, great, like, you got it. Here's all the green squares, but these 5 over here out of the 9, these are going to stay yellow. I'm not just going to do these. These will be add-ons and additional services that I will provide at an additional cost, but I'm taking care of this basic portion, and out of all 9 areas of this topic, here's where you're going to sit. Next, so on and so forth. And that's been, I find that for the non-technical decision-making people, which I feel most decision makers are non-technical people, that visual for them to understand, here's all the areas, here's where I'm going to be sitting, or here's all the areas, here's where I sit, and then here's where I will be.
Right.
It really, they sell themselves because they are educated, they understand, they don't know too much, and that they're going to confuse themselves. It gives you an opportunity to close the deal right there at the table. Not, okay, let me get with the team, we're going to talk about what we do or don't need. No, here's the deal. Like, which of these do you or do you not need? Great, they're all identified. Let's go to the back page. I need you to sign that line.
Love it.
And we'll move forward.
Love
So kind of that's, a little bit on the background and how I learned what I did, and then really how I came to appreciating the audit product and what it's helping us with.
Oh, that's great. Love to hear that. Now, I know, and I want to talk about prospecting. I don't want you to talk too much about even selling today, because I want to save that for the webinar. Everybody who's watching this has to sign up for the webinar, because we have some what we talked about the other day when we were kind of plotting this out, kind of mind-blowing for me. I think it's going to be great, just the way you're using audit. So for people who are audit users or thinking of using audit, they got to come. But you've got some really great sales advice, period. So I wanted to start with today, just really talking about prospecting. And I think I want to kind of start with asking you to tell that story about the owner of the company that you were telling me about yesterday with what he did with door knocking, because that's you do that. You actually physically go out door knocking
on a regular basis. So that's one of the things that AT&T and one of the partners that we work with just through internet service provider and phone solutions, they connected me with AT&T after I built a relationship with this gentleman. I had a big call with the executives of AT&T Business Fiber and AT&T Dedicated Fiber yesterday, and AT&T is giving me a list in the specific zip codes and areas that I want, with every single building in those zip codes that they've lit with fiber, and the contact name and the company name of every individual in that building that they currently have service with and or don't. And the only reason they gave me that is because I said, me and my team, we will go knock on those doors. We will go meet those people, and we will try to work your services in addition to the services that we are going to provide as well. And this isn't going to cost us? No, because you're going to give me co-branded marketing material. You're going to give me this, this, and this that shows here's how we're partnering together. AT&T is a powerful name. Having them right there on the marketing brochure and all the information that they paid for all of, and hand it to me, here, help us. Sure. But most people don't want to go knock on the doors because I guess they feel that, I guess salespeople are scared of hearing no, and it hurts to hear no over and over and over again. But every no you hear, you're closer to the yes. The yes is going to come. And the door knocking piece to me is really, it's in today's environment, it's one of the best ways to get in front of somebody. Because if you're cold calling and just reaching out to folks, they're going to screen their calls. They don't know your number. Most of the time, they're not going to answer.
Right.
Plus, if they do answer because you call the company, the administrator in the front, the receptionist, is really not going to be able to help you. That's not who you want to talk to. And you're going to have a tough time getting past that person. Versus when you walk into the door and you start talking about things with that person, maybe talk a little loud, say something of interest, say something related to security or anything like that, and somebody pokes their head out of their office. Hey, I'm having an issue with that. Hey, this doesn't work. Hey, man, I'd love to help you with those things. Who's in charge here? Well, that's Frank. Great. When can I talk to Frank? That's the guy I need to talk to. And his employees just sat there and told me, here's 3 issues that we've got a problem with. Great, which I'm going to use in my presentation because, again, on the sales side, we all know when we sit down with people, no one has any problems. All their IT works perfect.
Right.
So that was one piece on door knocking that AT&T saw value in.
That's amazing that you got that from a relationship. I mean, let's unpack that a little bit. So first of all, you had a relationship with AT&T, or did you build that relationship? Because really, door knocking is about building relationships.
Big time.
Selling.
Yep. So I mean the AT&T piece came along through Sandler Partners, which is really the master agent of master agents when it comes to all the selling of services and all of that. Sandler Partners is really at the top of the whole group. A lot of groups fall in under Sandler Partners and resell through them because they're so big. It's nice to have those people there with me because the relationships that they have, the resources that it's right. More people I met him through attending some random prospecting networking event with another VoIP provider. Met a lady who had sold Vonage VoIP services. She got to talking to her for 10 minutes. She said, you need to meet this guy with Sandler. All right, well, send me an invite and get it together, and I'll go. Went and talked to him. Me and him hit it off quickly, and off we go.
So awesome. Now, when you go in door knocking, so people are probably, I'm sure there's somebody watching this right now going, there's no way in a million years I'm going to go door knocking. That's like I don't like when people do it to me. It's interruption. It's, all sorts of millions of different reasons. But you're not just going in and going, hey, I'm here to sell you IT services. Who should I speak to? Like, what's the process?
Never. Nobody wants to be sold. Nobody wants to talk to a salesperson. My general approach is, here's a business card. My name is Lee Sawyer. Here's what I do. And again, like I told you yesterday, I love the no soliciting signs. Those are my favorite to go talk to because here's my card. How are you? I'm Lee. Here's what I do. Just wanted to introduce myself. Wanted to see if you guys ever need any services. If you ever have anybody that helps you, build a relationship with that person. I like the no soliciting people more than anyone. Just you can make jokes around it. I saw the no soliciting sign outside. You know, like, are y'all not expanding your relationships and your vendor basis? Or you're not trying to meet anybody new in anything you do? Like, you just don't want to talk to anyone? Your business is that awesome? Like, help me get there. That's why I stopped in here. Because if you don't want to talk to anybody anymore, you must be awesome. Like, how do I get to be like you? I mean, depending on the tone you use, people take that as a compliment, and like, they'll start talking to you because you're a person. You're not a salesperson. Then it's a conversation, and if you can start a conversation with someone, you can prospect and door knock. It's not hard. Are you confident enough to introduce yourself, put your hand out there, and do it? And then on the bad side of things, I guess, really, someone told me this one time. Lee, what's the worst that can happen to you when you knock on someone's door? Well, they answer the door and then slam the door in my face, I guess. Like, I guess that's about it. Yeah. And they're like,
security, and have you like arm barred out of the building.
Cool. Like, I'll make the security officer my friend, and I'm going to get that guy to show me everybody in here who has IT problems.
Right.
How do you play it? How do you approach it and how do you ask those questions when you're doing it? Are you getting that? Are you selling that person from the second you meet them, or are you building a relationship and making a sale off that relationship? That relationship selling is the way to sell.
Right.
There's needs-based selling and all of the others. Great. They're a whole lot harder than relationship selling.
And you're kind of just going out and basically saying, today I'm going to go door knock and make some friends. Not I'm going to go out and sell services. I'm going to go meet some people, drop my card off, get somebody's card, and see where it goes from there. That's
exactly
so non-confrontational. And I used to do that as well. Just walk into a business. Bankers, in the local chamber, the bankers would go door knocking all the time, right? They'd get out of the office, they just go walk in, and they were so good at it. When I ran a brick and mortar business, I used to actually go, I would go hide in the back when they come in, and because I knew what they were doing. But when I got on the other side of that desk, I was like, they're really good at that. So what I did is I went and I was friends with some bankers, and I asked them if I could go door knocking with them. And I was just introduced to all these people through their relationship. So and I found it, they were so friendly. It was just, hey, just coming in, stopping in to see you, stopping and say, hey. They never brought up selling. They never brought up trying to get me to open a bank account. They just trying to say hi.
Stopping in to say, hey. That's it. I just want to introduce myself. I mean, always be selling. Always be prospecting. It's every person you meet is a relationship and something that could help you make a sale or have another opportunity. You need another person to meet to make a sale. Like, people helping people. That's the sales game, and more than anything, that's the prospecting game. Sales is easy. Prospecting is the work. It's the part that nobody really wants to do. But when you see people that want to get into sales and want to make good money, what makes that person a good salesman or saleswoman? I promise you, it's not how good they are at sales. It's their network, their relationships, and how they build them. And that's what closes the deal.
Yeah.
Sales is hard to start out with, I feel like, because that prospecting piece is not there. You have to learn to prospect and build the pipeline. And it takes time to build the pipeline. The amount of time that it takes is going to vary depending on the industry and on your business. But hearing those no's and hearing those, well, maybe later, those maybe laters, they'll come around if you keep working on them.
Right.
The no's, they might come around if you keep working on them and building that relationship, because they truly might not see the need for your product right now, but in the future, they may see the need, and you've been working with them and talking with them for so long, they have your name, they know your name, and they'll reach back out to you.
Yeah, and what I've found, I don't know if you found this, is because I was people when I owned a marketing agency, people used to always tell me how great I was at selling, and I'm like, I don't sell anything. I just go out and I meet people, I network, I introduce people to other people, I see how I can connect people, and business comes. Like,
that's it.
That's all I ever did. Like, what I've found is that after a few times of being in front of people, they forget how they met you, and you go from being somebody they that maybe walked through my door and cold called me or whatever, to somebody I see all the time, a friend,
Right.
that relationship built.
Right. Some of my best friends are that way. That, we met just through a random piece in business, and as time went on, and we begin to trust each other more and know each other more and learn more about what the other one does, share more referrals, offer more advice and assistance and guidance, and here's a pointer. Try this next time. I dealt with that before. Here's this. I think social media is a good example of, you see the deals that go out where somebody shares something, and how many times is it going to get shared? A relationship is no different than that. The more relationships you have, the more people that know your name, the more they are sharing your information. Relationships are the old school social media, and they still work really, really well. Really well. I mean, you can post stuff on social media and pay people to do all that all day long and hope for the results and hope for people to reach out to you. Or you can just go meet those people and make those things happen. And the latter is free.
Right. I'm going to ask you one more question on door knocking. You shared a story. I can cut this out if you can't share it, but you shared a story about the fellow who owns, I guess, Rudick himself
With Kat. Yeah. So on this
is a great story. This is just a great way to illustrate to folks, I think, who are thinking, you know what, you're making door knocking sound like it's not cold calling it. Maybe I'll try it. This is kind of like, here's the prize.
Yep. So the Mr. Rudick, the owner of the principal partner of our operation, and he has a general construction company as well. He's in his 4th year now, growing, pushing. I think he has around a $50 million backlog for this year of work that they're performing. And the guy's a hustler. And what makes him a hustler is his prospecting opportunities. So he was out at a job site that they were working on and reviewing things, going to an owner's meeting, got out of that deal. Across the street from that job site was Caterpillar, a big cat manufacturing facility. He was like, man, wonder what they got going over there. Sure is a lot of land around that spot. It's Dallas, and let's go see what we can find. Maybe they're going to add on. He just walks in, introduces himself to the receptionist, has a conversation with her for a few minutes, gets to know a few people's names, builds a relationship, kept at it, and he just beat out the 3 largest general contractors in the DFW area for that job. That's a multi-million-dollar job. Here's one piece that we're starting right now, but all the phases that they have for this job will be out there on his side for 10 years doing work, through knocking on a door, walking in and just saying, hey, here's who I am. Here's what I do. I'd love to talk to you guys, and I'd love to build a relationship with you. See if we can do something in the future. And you can hard bid and be the low bidder all day in construction, but when Caterpillar believes or doesn't believe that you can or can't do the work or are capable of it, that's the bottom line. If he hadn't have knocked on that door and he had just put in a number and be trying to have a competitive bid, he would have never have got that job. They would have given it to one of the big 3 groups, big 5, and they would have taken it, and they'd have had the next 10 years worth of work too. They gave him a chance. It was one personal introduction, right? Was that the only one he did? He's probably done 5,000 for that one to happen, right?
Right.
But that one's going to make him a good deal of revenue and really help with the growth of his construction company.
Right.
From a cash flow perspective, it's a lot of money he gets from that to be able to grow and accept new jobs, knocking on one door.
Just keep at it, man. And now it's a pipeline thing. So I'll ask you one more question. So obviously, building a pipeline isn't something that happens in a week, right? Like in a month. You go out, you do this over and over and over again. So let's set up a little plan for MSPs who are trying to get started with this. Like how should they approach it? From how many a week, how many a day type thing? Like what's a good dipping my toe in the pond of trying this?
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like, first of all, you have to always be prospecting, and that prospecting is a lifestyle. It's It's everywhere you go. It's everything you do. It's everyone you meet. It's the waiter that waited on you when you got dinner. It's the guy that took your $5 when you bought coffee this morning. Every person that you come in contact with is a potential prospect. You don't know what they know or who they know and how that could potentially assist you in the growth and in the numbers you're trying to achieve. Tell me your question one more time.
Yeah, just for the average MSP, just trying to, maybe smaller MSP, they don't have a huge team.
Oh, the number.
Trying to get started with,
yeah.
How many ought they,
So like my number, my metric that I push on for every week is 12 to 15, right around that spot. And 15,
walking through 12 to 15 doors.
That's it. And sometimes I'll get one, sometimes I'll get none, sometimes I'll get kicked, maybe sometimes I'll get yelled at. Whatever. Like that no is closer to the next yes. I'm after the yeses. Right. That's what I gotta have. So that's, 12 or 15 is my number, but I don't think it's about what the number is right now or what the number is today or this week. It's about the consistency of putting the effort in on a consistent basis. Right. It's your regular routine. It's what you do. It's how many door knocks do you do every day, every week? How many phone calls do you make? How many cold calls just reaching out to people? How many random people that you met that you got their phone number did you actually make a phone call to? Not a text message or a Facebook message or an Instagram or a whatever, a phone call, old school phone call. Or if you know that person and you have a way of getting their address, sending them a handwritten thank you note. Nobody does that. You know how many deals I get off handwritten thank you notes? Just stupid, man. It's crazy. I haven't had a handwritten thank you note since my best friend got married. His wife wrote me one back in '74. Like I haven't seen this in years.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Amazing. Everybody wants to do it the easy way. Get on LinkedIn, send you a LinkedIn friend request, and
there's no easy way. There is no easy way. There's that way.
Not for the big deal, not for good deal.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Mom and pop shops, there may be easy way, but for the deals that are going to make you a lot of money and grow your MSP, there's not.
Nope. Those deals come through relationships. Those people do not go looking on Facebook. Oh, look, here's a group that we can call. No, they called their 4 friends that are executives of companies that have those services in play. Hey, who do you use and why? Can you give me their contact info?
Right.
Period. They don't do a Google search. They don't look at their social media. They go to other executives for referrals.
Yep. I totally awesome. Well, I'll leave it there. I'll let you get back to your thing, and we're going to have a fun webinar coming up in a couple of weeks. If you're watching this video, sure there will be a recording of the webinar that we did, so you can look in wherever the video is. There's got to be a link somewhere, and we'll make sure that goes to the replay page. So stay tuned for more. Thanks, Lee, for coming on and talking with us about prospecting.
Thanks for having me.